Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Y'all know what it is. First Formation Morning Sports Talk. It's your boy Trey, my man Bishop. We still have a little conference. Y'all know how it goes. Sometimes you go a little overboard with the morning meetings right before you get to formation. But we here, Bishop. How you doing, brother?
What's going on? What's going on? WGO, how's everybody going doing this Tuesday morning, man? 48 hours, a little under 48 hours from Super Bowl 56. As
Good
y'all
morning,
still
Jackie.
can see. What up, Jackie? How you doing? You still can see. Please, like Trey said, forgive us for our tardiness, being late for formation. We try not to be late. Good morning, Erica. How you doing? Happy Valentine's Day to you as well, man. To all the ladies yesterday, happy Valentine's Day. It is our fault because we did not wish y'all great Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to my lovely wife Chantel. Hopefully you enjoyed your day. We had some hiccups yesterday, but still, all in all, hopefully you enjoyed your Valentine's. And to my beautiful daughter and daughters, Sydney Joe and Destiny, happy Valentine's Day to both of y'all as well, my babies. You welcome, Erica. What up, Taylor? What up? Good morning, Jackie. Yeah, man, we back, man. It's Tuesday morning. It's you know what it is. First formation. Let's get it.
Yes, of course. So right before we was leaving out yesterday, Bishop, we was about to have a discussion, a reference to uh the ideal, like we was talking about the baseball, where they're having their CBA discussions. For y'all don't know, the CBA is a collective bargaining agreement in which both sides, two factions, this
Mhm.
the league, which is technically represented by the owners, and then the players, which is usually represented by a players union, basically have has has different ideals and stuff like that, where they got to come together to basically talk about what's going on and how everything's coming about. So what basically happened is, or what's going on is, they currently can't get right in what they need to do. So as early as this morning, it was talked about or discussed that they were trying to, once the league came back to the table and discussed, they wanted to get rid of some of um the minor league players. Like just a couple of years ago, they got rid of some of the minor league teams, which broke it down to 120 teams. So after breaking down to the 120 teams, they basically um now, or we're at 150, I think 180 within the 120 teams, 180 players on the teams for the different systems, whether it be because it's a four tier system.
Mhm.
So now they're looking at, the owners wants to get rid of, break it down from the players, the break it down where the players are now being less, from like 120, or one from 180 to 150 or something like that. To which, and they're not saying, from my understanding, they're not saying that they want to start it this year. They would like to be able to start it next year and kind of pick and choose when they're able to do it. But of course, the players have kicked it back. It's like, nah, we're not doing that. We don't want to do that. So that was just a rough synopsis. So of course they're going back and forth. But like we was talking about the CBA, we was discussing, what do you think is a situation to where it's the owners relenting to say, hey, we want to do this, or is it the players? And I know yesterday you said you believe it's a little bit of both. So please, let me hear your take on that.
I still feel like it's a little bit of both. I mean, I feel like both sides are can't come to a mutual agreement and don't have the the means to try and meet halfway. So I feel like it's both sides. I feel like both of them are looking to get the upper hand, but neither one of them can. So I feel like it's going to be something that's going to be oh wow, really? That's how you feel, Anthony? I mean, and that's possible. It's definitely possible. It's the owners and they want to keep the players as slaves. It's possible, and then, of course the players definitely don't want to do that, and definitely don't want to see that. Want it to be that way. So I'm interested in kind of intrigued to see how that's gonna play out. To be honest, why? What's your? Why? How do you look at it?
So when I look at it, I don't know. So of course it's a bargaining. So there's always someone that wants to get a little and give a little.
Mm-hmm.
We have the CBAs, of course, in the NBA, which they got signed not too long ago. CBA in the NFL, and of course the CBA in the MLB, which there's a big money to be made, and these individuals, these players, are the engine that drives the revenue for the most part. Like who
Mm-hmm.
everyone's coming to see these individuals and talk to these individuals and those things. So I think sometimes I think we automatically look, or people tend to automatically look at it as, oh, it's the players. It's the owners, the owners, the owners. But sometimes it could be the situation where the players are basically might sometimes be asking for too much, or then vice versa. Sometimes the owners are, saying, uh, losing fact of the matter of the players aren't that the players are making you money and driving your bottom line and getting it paid. So I think it's more so it has to do with the situations at the time, what's going on. And so if you got a couple of hot players that's really showing, you can see like, okay, they're really making things happen. Like these players are bringing people in. If you see your money increases from day one or from a certain point, and you look at the players that you got, then yes, the players you should be looking to play y'all players. The players should be making the money. If the bottom line is a certain place to where you got the players and you haven't changed any players, and you start looking at is things as you as an owner has instructed your GM or whomever to put in place, then you need that you recognize that it's you as the owner, or saying the money or dollars that you putting forth to drive this engine to where you're probably bringing in new innovative items into your stadium or arena. You going out and paying big dollars for a player that's not producing anything, but we all know sometimes the name would bring people in. It's just certain things. So I think I'm very sure it's a case by case basis, but you can't basically pinpoint that for the most part, because
Mm-hmm.
their CBAs are written for 10 years at a time for the most part, or less
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't pinpoint, but that would be my thought on it. Like it just determines what's going on. Whether it's the players that's bringing in the money, which would be, I'm very sure, is most like hence the free agency markets. Of course, if when Harden, I would be interested to know when Harden went to the 76ers, that drive up ticket sales, or I'm very sure when KD went to the Nets, that drove ticket sales. So those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to look at the player creates that market. So that'll be my take on it. When you look at it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure those individuals did drive ticket sales. I mean, those are premier players within the league and within the organization. So I definitely feel like that's something that was that I feel like that's definitely that drove up ticket prices for both organizations without question. What the hell?
Uh,
What that is? But yeah, we'll see, man. My boy just hit me up, man. I'm looking at him. He just hit me up. The rumors about did you hear about the rumors about Carson Wentz going to the Pittsburgh Steelers?
no, but we kind of spoke about that yesterday a little
What
bit.
up, bro? What's good? What's good? Good morning to you, bro. How you living?
What's going on? So
Yeah, he I guess it's been rumored that hold on, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it says. So my boy, like I said, my boy said sent it to me. Hold on. Is this it? Yeah, so um this was 9 minutes ago. Or well, yeah, 9 minutes ago. Steelers, another possible Ben Roethlisberger replacement just became available. If the Pittsburgh Steelers can land a veteran quarterback rather than develop uncertain backups, the franchise could find a way to reclaim the AFC North. Pittsburgh could see the end of Big Ben's Hall of Fame career on the horizon. Yet, despite this, there is no successful succession plan in place. As of now, the Steelers are rolling with Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins. But even Najee Harris isn't listing either of those two guys as people or faces in which he would like to see in the locker room next year. New reports out of another NFL franchise indicate that a franchise-ready quarterback may be available in the offseason, and he could help Pittsburgh stay afloat as they search for a true Roethlisberger successor. Carson Wentz could be possible Ben Roethlisberger replacement for the Steelers, according to the Steelers Wire.
So if he Carson Wentz, we talked
We
about
talked
it
about
yesterday.
that. We did. Yeah, we talked about that. Yep, we did talk about that. Yeah, it is a whole lot of free. Who do you guys think who's going to come up on the free agency? Yeah, it's a few. Well, it's a few people, man. I think. I mean, the thing is though, Alvin, is the fact that there were so many quick reports about quarterback staying in place that a lot of people thought was going to be shipped out, like the Aaron Rodgers and the what's his name out in Seattle. Carson was not going to fix Pittsburgh, just to fill in, and they will still be looking to upgrade. Which exactly, AP? That's exactly what they're saying. He's just a band-aid for Pittsburgh until they find one that they truly want to be a true replacement for Big Ben. Yeah, they talked right after the Super Bowl in regards to free agency and stuff like that, and they was talking about, like I said, they was talking about Aaron Rodgers, they was talking about Russell Wilson, and stuff like that. So, there's there are a few free agents. Whatchamacall's about to come. Matter of fact, Aaron Donald's a free. Not Aaron Donald. Whatchamacall? I want to say Matthew. His was only a. Thank you, Erica. Yeah, Russell Wilson. I want to say Matthew Stafford, that was only a 1-year thing, wasn't it? What was the point of in signing Dwayne? Because Dwayne Haskins wasn't it, Anthony. To be honest, I don't think anybody agrees. Like I said, even the running back, Najee Harris is not looking toward Dwayne or Mason Rudolph being the quarterback out there in Pittsburgh, man. I don't think they feel comfortable with him behind the center. Either one of them behind the center in Pittsburgh. But there's going to be a few free agencies. I think Matthew only signed a 1-year contract with Los Angeles, right?
Nah, I think it was more than a 1 year. I think he had a.
Oh no, I'm thinking about Odell. Odell only signed
Odell,
1 year.
Odell,
He signed
yeah.
1 year. He's a free agent as of the season. And we also know Aaron Rodgers is a guy, wide receiver. What's his name? For Green Bay, he's a free agent. So I don't know, man. We'll see. It's a few out there. Dwayne Haskins is not a starter, absolutely, and I don't that's the thing, man. I don't think he is either. I don't feel like he's a starter at all. Dwayne Haskins needs playing time and reps. No team has tried to develop him. I mean, that could be true too, AP. I definitely see where you're coming from with that. Dwayne Haskins wasn't high on my agenda, on my chart as a quarterback that was going to come in and do major things in the NFL. To be honest with you, when he came out of what did Dwayne come out of? Where did Dwayne come from? Dwayne Haskins came from where?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. That's it. Ohio State, and so he wasn't really that dude for me, man. I thought he was a bit overrated coming out of college.
So I think
really.
I think being capitalized on teams that have to be patient. True. That is Alvin. That is exactly. I was just thinking the same thing, even in regards to Carson Wentz. Like you have to. I think it's now a situation to where where
I know, right?
I think it's a situation to where all the like players have to give a chance to grow. And honestly, you only get a slight amount of time to grow in the system when you have a quarterback that is basically their starter, usually the franchise player or franchise quarterback, and then you come to the organization and you sit behind that franchise quarterback, and you only get a chance, you get reps only during practice and preseason.
Yeah.
So saying you basically, and everyone sees you and they look at you and see your what your prowess is and what your promise is over the course of those, and what you did back when you did, and the opportunities when you get into the game. So you don't really see it. So although Carson Wentz has had an opportunity and time over the course of a couple of seasons through with two organizations in
Yeah.
which he showed promise, and then he
He
reverts
falls
back.
off.
Then he falls off, and it's like, okay,
Mhm.
okay, damn. See, this is exactly what he thought he was. And I think we don't really take into consideration, or sometimes we don't look at the fact of who called the plays, if he did what he's supposed to do, if a play was called, if he in his mind he had a better play that he thought would have worked, but it didn't happen. Of course, they're not gonna go. You're not gonna see too many quarterbacks go and be like, yeah, that was on the offensive coordinator because he called this play and it should have been this play, unless it's
Mhm.
coming to a situation where you tired of getting beat across your head because you're the one getting accused by the media for certain plays in which that wasn't you was directed or told. Saying, they have the conversations in the helmet right before a certain time frame, then it cuts out, and then it's like, okay, we go from there. So I think it has to continue to grow and get the opportunity. So just like with Wentz, if he was to go to somewhere, let's say Pittsburgh, and have an opportunity to to work there, if it goes wrong there, you at that point you just got to be like, you know what,
It ain't. It's him.
it's most likely it's possibly you, bro. Like, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then for Haskins, as we stated, he might have been drafted prematurely because he did well at Ohio State,
Right.
but I mean, was that Ohio State system, and he got to Washington football team. Uh,
Mhm. Didn't do
didn't do
nothing.
didn't do well there. You had the
Nope.
discussions and talks, and
Right.
then you get to and then now he's in Pittsburgh, to where a lot of time he was on the sideline, but he was in street clothes, so that means he was a scratch, and or he was injured, or whatever the case may be. Now that Ben Roethlisberger is gone, the fact that we're sitting up and having a conversation about who's going to go to Pittsburgh is like, I would feel a certain type of way if I'm one of the quarterbacks that's on the roster there, and I gotta sit up and listen to people talk about why I'm not getting the opportunity to play. So
So AP, I see what you're saying. I see you saying Carson Wentz was in a shotgun QB in college, and then adapting to pro system may have been too much for him. But for me, that's not an excuse, because the ultimate goal is, if you're a quarterback in college, I mean, your ultimate goal is definitely to become a quarterback in the NFL. So you even despite how you played in college, and you're being comfortable in a college game plan or scheme, that doesn't mean that during the off seasons and stuff like that you aren't preparing for the pros. And with that being said, you have to be able to, adapt. Like Carson Wentz should have been able to adapt to the pro system by now. AP, in my opinion, I feel like he should have been able to adapt to the pro system, and it shouldn't be that difficult for him by this time, because he was what, 2 to 3 seasons in Philly, and then and now he went over to or 4 seasons in Philly, I want to say, and then he went over to the Colts. Right now, that should be like the back of his hand. He should know the system, no matter what. Now, in regards to different OCs, offensive coordinators, I get that part, but but in regards to him knowing the system and being able to, to function under a different, system in regards to the difference between college and NFL, I don't think that's an excuse to say he can't figure it out. Question: so the offensive coordinator have a say to who comes on the team? I think it's all depending on the general manager, on how much the offensive coordinator, or how much and the coach, how much say so they have.
Yeah,
To
the
be
only person
honest,
that really got to say so is the GM for the most part. But of
yeah,
course, of course they go. Well, I think I'm very sure the GM goes to the coach and be like, "Hey, I'm not correction. Well, the coach is will, but I'm very sure he
right.
goes up and down. He goes to the owner and lets the owner know, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. And then he
Hmm.
goes to the coach and let the coach, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. What
Right,
you think and get a perspective, and from that
right,
perspective, they basically go ahead and make a difference. Like, and you got to take that into consideration. So the GM, although they might be the middleman, they still you know what I'm saying, it's a rough spot because if I felt that this individual um I had to judge the talent as a GM. I had to judge the talent and judge who I think, you know what I'm saying, the people in which I'm putting around. Ideally, you like to get a coach, or you want to have the ideal of what your coach's philosophy is,
hmm,
so that way you're able to mesh in with players that's going to be effective. Of course, the coach hires the offensive coordinator. So once you have all that in place, you be like, okay, this is what I'm looking at. So I'm very sure there's a discussion as I'm looking at bringing this player in or not bringing that player in,
right.
and then you get their the consensus from those individuals. The
Hmm.
owner might be like, nah, I don't want him here. Or, you know what I'm saying, or might say, I don't want him here, but you know what I'm saying, I hired you to do a job, you know what I'm saying, you do your job. Just
Right.
know, just know when it comes down to it, this is what's going to go on.
But do
I'm
you
society.
feel like? But do you feel like the OC has any say so though? Because he is the. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's the coach, but he is the offensive coordinator. So he, in some point, I kind of understand where he's coming from. Excuse me. Because if I'm just like the movie in which I talked about,
Draft day.
draft day, when you got a coach and then you got an offensive coordinator, like he has to offer for an offensive coordinator to be successful, just like a coach, you have to have all the right pieces in place. All the right pieces in place. So if an offensive coordinator is not or doesn't feel comfortable or has a bad vibe in regards to a quarterback that may be coming in or a running back or whatever position player comes in on the offense, then I would think that the OC would be like, look, coach, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm really not feeling Dwayne, man. I don't like his work ethic, or I don't like his throwing motion. He's kind of rough around the edges, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Before they actually say, okay, yeah, he, I don't, I really can't see a coach being like ignoring what an OC may really want on his offense, even though he is the coach. You know what I'm saying? Because you did hire him, or they did hire him as the OC. So if you're hiring him as the OC, then you want his feedback to be able to have a successful offensive powerhouse. So I would say that yeah, they kind of got to coincide with one another, coach, the OC, as well as the general manager. And I think maybe not so much as the general manager because he's just probably for the most part the money part of it. Um, the financial part in regards to how much money they can spend in regards to getting a player. But as far as the OC and the coach, the head coach, I feel like they have to be on the same sheet of music.
So I
He's getting
and
hit. He was not what? He was not
he was
what?
getting hit. He was getting hit and not
Oh well,
he was
yeah,
not
but that's because the college in Winston, what is South Dakota State? I mean,
North
come on.
Dakota. North Dakota.
Oh, North Dakota State, whichever one. I knew it was one of them Dakotas.
NDSU, yeah.
Yeah, he. I mean, but with that being said, I mean, yeah, when you have a quarterback coming from a school like that, yeah, he was thriving out there in NDC, NDU. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be night and day. So, but again, AP, I still feel like as a quarterback, and if that's on your ultimate dream is to become an NFL quarterback, you have to prepare yourself mentally as well as physically to be able to adapt from one thing to another. And that's from going to college football to NFL football. That's just my
So
take on it.
So going back to what you were saying, if it was me as a GM, I would take in consideration my defensive coordinator. I like you would
You
have
mean your offensive
correction
coordinator?
offensive, yeah,
Yeah,
offense. Well, basically,
both,
you know, what I'm saying
both.
all coordinators.
Yeah,
Like at minimum, the coordinator, the coach, and the head coach, and the two coordinators, the
right.
primary coordinators. Because if I'm trying to build a team, like I need to know, ideally from the coach, like how are you going to structure your system? Like,
Right.
are you? Although we have a defensive coordinator, are you calling the plays or what's going on? You may say
Mhm.
so. I need to have an idea, so I need to know how to go forth because I don't want to get a player, or I don't want my scouts. If my scouts come back and tell me something about a player, I don't want to get the player that's not going to go well with the system. Now I don't waste
Right.
that money. We don't waste it. So me as a general manager, I would take in consideration everything in which everyone is saying, and then at the end of the day, I reserve the right to I'll get paid to make these determinations in the system. So it's just one of those things.
Right. No, I
So
totally agree. I totally agree with that. I totally feel you on that one. Absolutely. The OC has to have some type of input for them to be successful. If they're not all on the same sheet of music, I don't feel that it would be a successful organization or a successful season, in my opinion. Hold on, I'll be right back.
so what Applewhite is saying, so the office coordinator is overhyped, or is the general manager that big of a deal on the team, and does the football needs to go back to the QBs calling their own plays? So of course, Applewhite, additionally, Anthony saying because the coordinator may not want a player, but still have to build a no talent player when they have failed. It's all on the coordinator. So not necessarily pointing and saying it's all on the coordinator. I think the coordinator is needed for the most part because they still have an overseer that's no different from having a platoon sergeant or a squad lead, or a section sergeant, but yet you have squad leaders for the most part that someone has to runs the section, and then the squad leaders happen to, saying provide that help when needed. And if you need be, you can sit up and let the squad leader go ahead and do what they got to do in order so that way you have options to take care of other aspects. So that's when I look at it. That's kind of like the simulation with or the how I basically or analogy you can use for the coach is needed, of course. The GM, of course, is needed because the GM does other things outside of get players. You know, what I'm saying for the most part, GMs do everything. They have a whole perspective of things that don't even amount to what's on the field. Is what's in the stadium, uh, innovative things in which they got to go to the owner and say, this is what we want to do. Ticket prices, food that they're selling, and all that contracts. Like the general manager controls the team for the most part. If you have, unless they're a president of players operations or something like that, it starts to go off from there. But the general manager has a bevy of roles in which they have to do outside of that of the players in the field. Of course, that's the money generator, but it's other aspects of the game that we don't see, or the behind the scenes, and that we don't see that they have to take care of. So, of course, the general manager is needed in the office of coordinators. Of course, they're needed for the same thing because the coach in his own right is just an extension of the general manager directly with the players. So, uh, those are the things that basically help. So, but like I said, if it was me, I would want to have an idea of who I'm working with and who I'm trying to bring in overall because my job is on the line. So yesterday, right? So I had I was checking out. Let's go back to the halftime show. I didn't get a chance to speak on it because I was um I was incapacitated during the Super Bowl halftime show. So I got a chance yesterday to go back and look at the halftime show. And while taking a look at the halftime show, I've seen so many things that 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 struck a certain emotion in me as a person from California, even more so a Comptonite, being that I'm from Compton, California. So as I was looking as the set that was on the Super Bowl on that Super Bowl field, I seen some certain homages that was paid to, what I'm saying, my city of Compton. Um, it was set up to look like the city hall, the Compton courthouse, Compton City Hall. Of course, Tams number 5. Even though I'm more of a Louis Burgers type person, but Tams number 5 is a restaurant that a lot. Correction, Tams number 21 is a place in which a lot of people go to eat a hamburger stand. Uh, Eve's Club. So I was taken back. Of course, I like, saying the certain geniuses that comes to things to where you kind of recognize. So of course, if you're not from the California or saying Compton, you didn't get it. It just all you seen was a set. Even as far as going down to how the floor, the ground was set up to look like the Compton airport. Like saying I was really taken back by all that. I didn't get so I went and looked and watched and peeped it out. And was like, okay, saying. I mean, the halftime show was pretty nice, but interestingly enough, as I took a look at First Take, Stephen A himself didn't have the 2022, 21, 22 halftime show even in his top 5. Did you know that, Bishop?
Say what? What happened? Say that again.
Stephen A himself, as I looked at his list from yesterday, didn't even have the halftime show in his top 25, in his top 5.
This current one, the one on Sunday, he didn't have it in
Yes.
the top 5.
Mm-mm.
Oh wow.
Not at all.
Well,
Not
I
at
wish I
all.
would have seen which ones he had. Was Michael Jackson one of them?
It's funny you say that. I have him right here.
Okay.
Number 5,
Mm-hmm.
the Prince 2007
Okay.
halftime show.
Okay.
Number 4, the Bruno Mars 2014 halftime show.
Okay.
Number 3, the Michael Jackson 1993 halftime show.
Of course.
Number 2, the Beyonce 2013 halftime show.
Okay.
And then number 1, Coldplay, Beyonce, and Bruno Mars 2016
In 16.
halftime show.
Yeah. No, I disagree. I think that one. I think the one this past Sunday, Super Bowl 56, deserves to be. I would take out that. I think it was better than the Coldplay, and I think to me,
The number
I think it
1.
was better. I think it was better than that. To be honest, in my opinion, did you watch? Did you get a chance to watch it?
Yeah, I went back, and that's what I was just talking about. I went back and watched it yesterday, and I seen it, and it's like the homages, and saying the Compton,
Right.
everything was basically Compton based and paid and talked about
Right.
Compton, the
Right.
restaurant, saying the little. I don't know if y'all caught the statue that was on the right hand side that looked like a bunch of bars is like symmetrical.
Mhm.
That's actually the Martin Luther King Memorial, and which is at the Compton City Hall in
Okay.
downtown Compton. So that little
Okay.
thing, and then the building itself, in which they was on top of, was made to look like the Compton courthouse. So it's like like all that type of stuff. What I'm saying was
Oh, so it had a lot of. It had a
yeah,
lot of.
yeah. That's what it spoke to. And so
Right.
and see, so that's why I was just saying like how if you're not from California and
You're not gonna
or in
know
that
those
area,
things.
you're not going to notice those little things.
Right.
So when I caught that, I was like, oh, okay. And then I started looking, I was like, all right. And then I seen the Tams, like of course, saying as I was stating, I'm a Louisburger more type of person, Louisburgers, but Tams is is like a of course, if you're from California, everyone knows about Tams or whatever case like that. So yeah, so that was Stephen A's list as far as the Super Bowls. Of course, what I'm saying, I don't want to sound a little biased, but when I look at how everything was done, like people said they wanted to see more and wanted to hear more.
Mhm.
Uh,
So, did you like it? Did you,
oh
being that
yes,
you're from there, did you
yeah,
like it?
yeah, I did.
So, I'm glad you said that, Anthony Price. So, I'm glad you said that because a lot of people. So, me personally, right, as I watched the halftime show, I didn't look at it as him taking a knee for a cause. I just looked at it as a part of the show. You know what I'm saying? As a way, because he did take the knee
I
for a
thought he
long
took
time.
paid homage to Colin Kaepernick.
You did? I didn't think that though. Initially, when I saw it, I didn't think that. But now hearing like Anthony Price and everybody else saying it, and they are saying that he wasn't supposed to do that and he shouldn't have did that. That's crazy. I'm like, wow, really? It's a knee, man. He took a knee. I mean,
So
what are you gonna do?
so
Stop now? What
it was
everybody gonna now take Eminem's music and burn it and throw it in a pile and like
so
really?
what I got from it, and then so it's symbolization. I think at the end of the day, what it was
Right?
because it was a bunch of things in which that was
You
what
just
I
said
found
was
out.
symbolize. Yeah,
Yeah.
symbolize a whole
So
lot of stuff. Yeah.
so that was a symbolization because it was other things in which they said that they had in place that they wasn't supposed to do, in which I think they went ahead and did. Like
What else was in place that they
so,
weren't supposed to do?
So Snoop Dogg wasn't supposed. We all know Snoop Dogg is
Crip.
a member of saying Roller 20s Crip. And so Snoop always, for the most part, sports a blue rag in his left pocket,
Mhm.
which symbolizes, that. So what and if you gotta think, we're in LA,
Mhm.
so they told Snoop he couldn't wear a blue rag during his performance. So
But
what
mind
this
you, his whole outfit
that
was
was the
right,
loopholes. So
right.
come on, walk with me. Come walk
Yeah,
with me.
I'm walking. I'm with you.
So his the blue and yellow Rams colors, but the blue at the end of the day was a whole bandana.
Right.
Um,
And his wife had on the exact same thing. His
yeah,
wife
yeah.
had on the
I
exact
didn't
same
know
thing
that. I
too.
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was told, Jackie told
Yep.
me about that. Matter of fact,
They
shout
had
out
the
to
exact.
Jackie. Jackie, I ain't get a chance. We was just talking about Beyonce, and
Yeah.
that's one of her favorite people. If they would have had a concert, I would have took her to a Beyonce concert for Valentine's Day. But of course, we just went out and had a little dinner or something like that, and came back. So we in Leesville. We, did what you could do. Everything was packed, but I think we had a good time. Ate some cake and then came back. But with the additionally, also what was said is they were not supposed to have any um certain lyrics in their music, i.e. Kendrick Lamar wasn't supposed to say the gang sets in which he says in his music, in which he didn't, but supposedly Dr. Dre was not supposed to say, still saying F the police, still rocking the pants with the khakis and crease. He wasn't supposed to say, the part about him not liking the police or anything like that, and yet he went ahead and said it still. And then,
Mhm.
of course, Eminem, from what my understanding is, initially I saw to where they said, hey, do not that I initially saw with they said the NFL said they were aware of Eminem taking the knee. But then it
Mm.
came out that he wasn't supposed to take a knee, and he did it anyway. And
Okay.
so, as I know, Dr. Dre stated that was in rehearsal, but that was M's thing. It wasn't a part of what they had. M just did it. Like, I guess he was rehearsing it, and because you got to think what he did it in like a moment, like
It was a
just did it.
transition. It
Yeah,
was a
it was.
transition. It was it was after his song was over and it was transitioning from him to was it 50? I think it was whoever was after him. It transitioned, or it might have been Mary J, but it was a transition that was like he kneeled, he went down into the thing or whatever, and then it transitioned to whoever was next.
Uh-huh.
So, and then I hear what you're saying, but Mary J's song was a message. It was a message song that Mary J even sung.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
So
saying? No more drama. No more
yeah.
drama is a message song. Like, come on, like, really?
So it was those type of things. So it was certain things that was supposedly said that wasn't, so things that were done. It was a couple of minor things, but Dre said he was happy with the product at the end of the day. So of course
Was
people
Snoop
want,
supposed to crip walk? Because he crip walked too.
oh, you're gonna do that anyway. But
I know that.
but
I
throughout the
know.
sets, but it was blood walking. I mean, it was blood dancing and crit walking all throughout. If you paid attention and look at the dancers and stuff like that, they was doing it
With
all
when they had on all the
the
all
choreo,
khaki, the
all
whole
khaki.
khaki outfit.
Yeah,
Yep, the whole
yeah.
khaki
So
outfit
they
with
was
the
doing it.
beanie
Yeah, so
and the
that
chucks.
the whole choreography was basically saying crit walking and blood dancing and all that type of stuff. So it wasn't just saying that so it was a little bit of everything, basically
Right,
all homages to saying Compton and all that type of stuff. So say
right.
shout outs, of course. I was saying I loved it. Being that from saying my
It
city.
was
Uh,
repping the city.
yeah. So now we was talking about Beckham earlier, right? So
Odell. Mhm.
yes, so possibly ACL tear. So
Mm.
I ask you this,
Has it
Mitchell.
come out? Has it come out? That's what it is, or is
No,
it?
it hasn't came out yet, but
Oh.
it's a possibility. So I ask you this: in your time in the military,
Mhm.
did you get any serious? What's the most, especially like as a soldier athlete, what was the most serious injury in which you had?
Oh man, that's easy for me. My most serious injury was hamstring pulls.
Oh my God,
Hamstring pulls.
those things. You
Yeah,
know what I'm sitting
that's
thinking?
the worst, bro.
One time, bro, in one time, and it wasn't. I was in the military, but I wasn't at a military function. Is why
Mm-hmm.
I was in JBLL
Mm-hmm.
playing playing flag football in one of the flag football leagues,
Mm-hmm.
and while I was playing defense. You know, I played linebacker and safety,
Mm-hmm.
so switch. But I was playing linebacker. I'm sure I was playing linebacker because I was running alongside the dude going for it, and I heard a pop. And
Oof.
like instantly, I was like, "Ooh!" And so I was like, say it started
You,
happening. I couldn't stop. It's like I couldn't. I was trying to stop. And so
mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I didn't know. So I went ahead and continued to play. But it started, bruh. It was a good thing that we got rained out a couple of times because I couldn't go for like 3 weeks. And
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you even said 3 weeks because mine happened while I was in Korea, and I was playing. I think I was playing quarterback at the time,
mm-hmm.
and I had broke one down the sideline, gone. Won't know nobody out in front, bro.
Did you try to accelerate or something?
No, I was already in full
Okay.
acceleration, and I'm full stride, and all of a sudden that joke, and I let the ball go. I let that ball go and grabbed my hammy, bro. I was like, oh, what is that? The hamstring is one of the most
Oh my goodness.
craziest
It felt like
injuries,
it's air in your.
bro.
Oh my goodness. It
No,
was.
but I think the thing that's the most craziest about a hamstring injury is the fact that it's so misunderstood in a way that like I did that night, and like 2 days later, it was like I felt fine. Like my I was walking fine. I felt good. I was like, oh man, I'm good. I said it ain't that bad. But as soon as you try to go to do an extension of or try to run stride out or whatever, it lets you know, oh no, that injury is real. That injury is real. And I've pulled both of my hamstrings in both of my legs. Pulled both of my hamstrings, and I think if I'm not mistaken, if you feel behind, if you were to feel behind my right leg, I think I have some what do you call it, scar tissue, I guess, from pulling it so bad because you could feel a knot behind my right hamstring from the pull. Um, and and ever since I've pulled my hamstring, it's always been a fear of mine when running. Anytime I run, I'm always fearful of my hamstrings.
Yeah.
Anytime I run, and I can every now and then when I run, all to this day, anytime I run, I can still kind of feel a little bit of a twerk of it in my leg. And no, I'm not talking about the twerk that the women do. I'm talking about a twerk in my leg that that I can feel in my that I can feel from the hamstring pull. You know what I'm saying? So and yeah, normally a hamstring pull for me, it kept me out for like more so like 5 weeks more, just trying to get it back, nurse it back to, health. As a matter of fact, Trey, to be honest, because of my two hamstring pulls, even once I retired and once I pulled them, every single game, before every game, I ace bandage both my hams. I
Mm-hmm.
have ace bandages on both of my hamstrings. I would not play without ace bandages on my hamstrings.
Nah,
Would not.
that was like
Not.
that. And the reason I came, well, the main reason I came back 3 weeks is because they needed me. That was actually the biggest reason why. I think I sat out one game. I think I watched one game and sat out. It didn't go, but I was like, nah, because I think it was even the game before the playoffs, so it was us going to the playoffs. I was like, nah, I got to play. So
Yeah.
I went ahead and I was like, I got to play. So I went ahead and played. But I think additionally that, and I also I partially tore my rotator cuff doing
Oh,
and
I take that back. I did that too.
yeah, I
I
said
just did that.
yeah.
Yeah, I just
So
did
I
that
did that
about 2 years ago.
playing the same league, same state, but
Mhm.
at this particular time it was raining and we
Mhm.
was out there playing and I went I was playing receiver and when I went for the pass, the quarterback seen me and he like I put my hand up and when I put my hand up, he threw it, but it was raining, so the ball oversailed out. It came out his hand and oversailed. And when I seen, I was like, I'm not gonna get to that. And I tried, but then the safety was coming down. So I was like, I tried to beat the safety to the point to knock the ball out, and I jumped and laid out. And when I laid out, I had my arm fully extended, and I hit the ground, bam, and slid.
Damn, Trey, that sounds just like mine.
I jumped up and like started chasing them down. I got them, and then I was sitting there. I'm thinking to myself, like as I'm walking, I'm like pacing, but my arm is killing me. I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, So I'm walking back and forth, and of course now I'm on the field as a linebacker, and so I'm walking back and forth, and I'm thinking to myself, I was like, why am my fingers was tingling? I was like, why am I feel? I was like, why I feel like this? I'm not thinking anything of it, so I'm sitting there, I'm like going. Matter of fact, it was Valentine's Day. It's not. I think it was
Wow.
Valentine's Day because we end up going. I end up going to dinner with Thorough and Sierra that night. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. So I was pacing back and forth, and I was thinking, I was like, man, I was like, okay, I was like, why I feel like this? And I'm shaking my arm, and so I went and ate. I went home after the game, uh, changed clothes, and then went to dinner. But the whole time we had dinner, it's like my
You felt
arm
it.
is like killing me. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what? It was even like I had trouble putting my clothes on, but I just
Mm-hmm.
thought it was swollen. Man, by coming 4 o'clock that morning, it was in excruciating pain. I was like, oh no, I'm finna
Ooh.
go to ER. I
Right.
got up, my phone wasn't charged. I was like, let me charge my phone a little before I go. But I was like, I sit there. I was like, this is gonna have to work. And I went and come to find out it was a partially rotator cuff tear.
So mine is similar. Mine is identical on how it happened though. Except I wasn't on offense, I was on defense, and I was playing the D line. So I was rushing the quarterback, and the quarterback was getting out the pocket. So I went to go dive for his flag to try and deflag him, and my
Mm-hmm.
arm was extended. And when
Mm-hmm.
I landed just like you said. I landed just like that, right? And I felt something, and I was like, oh, I just probably twerked it or whatever. And I went to play, I finished playing the game or whatever, however, and then really didn't think too much about it. And then a few days later, and a few months passed, and I was like, man, something ain't right about my shoulder. I said something just isn't right. I couldn't sleep right. It wouldn't allow me to sleep or anything like that. And I went to the VA, and sure enough, yeah, I had a partially torn rotator cuff, and they had to do surgery, man. And I got my rotator cuff surgery done. I think that was what 2021, 2020,
Mm-hmm.
20. I think I got that
Yeah.
rotator cuff, and it's oh man, that surgery. I mean, to my doctor that did it, he did a phenomenal job. But man, yeah, I forgot about that one, and I don't know how I forgot about it because I haven't been to a gym, probably been to the gym in the past 2 weeks straight. Normally I go to the gym before the show, and I
Mm-hmm.
haven't been to the gym in the past 2 weeks because I was feeling some type of way. My shoulder was bothering me as I was lifting in the gym because one thing, once I did recover from the rotator cuff surgery, I had tried to return to playing flag football again, and I couldn't throw the ball, bro, because it was my
Dead
right
arm.
arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my arm was dead. Like I couldn't throw the ball like 20
Same
yards,
thing.
bro.
Same
Yep.
thing here.
I couldn't do it, bro. It wouldn't. So that's
You
what
gotta
had me get
rehab
back.
the arm back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I had to rehab. That's what got me back in the gym to try and get my arm and get my strength back in that arm. And I'm pretty much back. But now, like I said, I haven't been in the gym in 2 weeks because of that, because I felt like I had tweaked it again.
So of course, I think in all that is none of that going to be as serious as the potential AC tear in which OBJ has. But of course, saying at this point it's like a warning. We don't know exactly yet. I'm sure it's going to come out, and then he's going to have to rehab. I wonder will that happen to impact
Their decision to keep. I was
yeah.
just about to ask you, would you keep him if you're the LA Rams? Would you keep him even at this point right now?
Mm-hmm.
Being that you don't know what the diagnosis is and what it is fully, would you keep him? Meaning that you know he's a free agent. Would you keep him or would you let him go?
What was his injury before that? Was it
It was knee.
see he
It was his other knee though. I think it was. I think it was his other knee. I think it was his other knee.
I
Was
don't
it
know.
Was it the other knee? Or was it the same knee?
In any case, we talking about I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Because you gotta think Robert Woods is out with it, saying with an injury too. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember. Like, so it's like you gotta really think about that. Like at this point, we talking about
But we talking about a quarterback that just came back in Joe Burrow who had the same injury.
yeah, but like you said, if you said it was his other knee, now you don't
Yeah,
have
I
so
can't remember if it's. Let me look. I don't know if it's the same knee or if the other knee. Let me look. Uh, but yeah, I was wondering, would you keep him?
I don't know. I would really have to take a look because, like I said, what do we have in Robert Woods coming back? I would look at saying is Van Jefferson good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Applewhite says yes, keeping OBJ is as good as Cooper Kupp is still the number one receiver. Yeah, but
Okay,
so
and I feel you.
that's understandable, Applewhite. But
Excuse me.
at the same time, what's going on is now he gets signed to a multi-year deal.
Right,
So
right,
now
because it
we're
ain't gonna
putting
be
now I'm putting money on books, in which I have to sit up. And if he's
Oh,
not effective,
worry for left knee ACL re-tear.
see, yeah,
Re-tear.
I
So
probably
it
wouldn't
is the
keep him.
same knee.
I probably wouldn't keep him.
No, you gonna let him go?
Yeah, go ahead, let him go.
Yeah, re-tear.
Yeah.
That's
Because you gotta think that I wonder how extensive is that rehabilitation. You got a
but
surgery, and then you
but
got
they
to,
say traded when they do that. Excuse me, they repair that. They say it's supposed to be stronger than your original knee.
and then look what happened.
Supposedly,
Yeah, and now look what happened. He tears it
yeah.
again. So yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and let him go.
Oh wait,
Business move. That's all it is. Nothing
right.
personal. Like you want to keep him, but you gotta look at it like, bruh.
Longevity. You gotta
Yeah,
look at longevity. You gotta look at what you have there now. You gotta
yeah.
look at what will like because again, if it's a full and we don't know if it's a full tear though. We don't know
Mm-hmm.
if it's or if it's a full or partial. So that's of course if it's a full tear, that's full constructive knee. That's full constructive knee surgery. I would let him go since it's the second time. He was a problem, and one of the reasons they made the Super Bowl. He took pressure off of. Yeah, I totally agree with you, AP. He did, but will be a number 4 Woods getting his spot back, Cup and Jefferson starting. But even still, with OBJ going down in in the first half, Cup still did what he did in the second.
Yeah, so it's definitely not. Yeah,
Yeah, so
I
it's
mean, true
second
enough.
half. So
He takes that pressure
yeah,
off Cup,
he
but
does. He does.
like
Yeah, it's
I didn't
hard.
realize the play where Stafford wasn't looking and hit OBJ and hit Cup in that on that slant in the open field. I was
Right.
like, man, this dude. I was like, I don't know, like Cup is that dude right now. So
He is. He is that dude, man. He is that dude. And I don't I mean, it's so unfortunate for OBJ because I'm sure he wanted to play that entire game and not just a half.
oh, you
To
can see it in his face.
oh yeah, well, I mean, the tears say it all. The tears say it all. Not only, I mean, I'm sure it's tears of happiness, but just the frustration on his face, like you said, Trey, coming out in civilian clothes. Because when somebody had to tell me, they was like, "Oh man, it's like OBJ in civilian clothes." I was like, "Oh, that's gotta suck." Cincinnati was playing zone and Cup was running to open space.
True that.
Exactly.
True that.
Exactly.
Does
That was Cincinnati's fault. Like I said yesterday, Cincinnati should have been playing a box and one like basketball on Cup, especially when OBJ went down. Like now, all you really had to worry about was OBJ. I mean, Cup. That was your only main concern. The only person you could not allow to beat you was Cup. But yet and still, they still allowed him to get the ball and let him Eli be on an island with Cup like that. And I don't know how big Eli Apple is, but like I told y'all yesterday, I didn't know Cup was 6'2", 210, 205, 210, something like that. So I didn't realize that. I thought Cup was much smaller than that. I thought he was about the same size as OBJ, which OBJ is like 5'11. But yeah.
so. Additionally, also, as we was talking about, I meant to bring this up while we was talking about the situation in baseball with the owners.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, the owner for the Dolphins, Mr. Ross, is potentially might or possibly can lose his ownership for the Dolphins if the NFL finds that the allegations are true in reference to him paying for tanking.
Bank tanking games, yeah.
Yes. So the owners in the NFL can vote him out. Of course, they need a
majority.
Yeah, 2/3. Well, not even majority. 2/3. 2/3.
Oh, it's only 2/3. Oh.
Yeah, or a third or something like a third, 1/3.
Okay.
1/3 has to agree. So, which is about 11
of the 32 teams.
Yeah, has to agree that he needs to be out. So I don't know how they feel about that, if they would do that or not, but that's basically it's in the law, NFL bylaws.
It's about deals that's been made between owners.
Oh yeah, and it becomes about what saying when we voted. Yeah, when we voted or something that came up. Did you or did you not?
Who'd you vote? What side did you vote on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
you start thinking like, oh man, they still get rid of me.
Yeah.
Additionally, the Cardinals won't more have. We all know about the debacle that happened with Kyler Murray and him going and purging his social media of any Arizona Cardinal pictures and anything related to the Cardinals. It's starting to come out now. Is I think it's because it was stated that the Cardinals, they did not say who, they just said the Cardinal organization basically stated that they want Kyler Murray to be more of a leader because they say he's self-centered and does not have
Selfish. Sure.
selfish and does not have a strong work ethic, saying
And
that he's not the type to be the first in and last out. So they're not happy. They're not happy with him and his production. And Kyler Murray, of course, he dropped saying he's not for the nonsense, and that anyone that works with him, especially between them lines, knows that he is passionate about what he does and wants to continue to always get better. So I don't know.
I saw that, man, yeah, I think it's frustration on both sides. I think it's frustration on Kyler Murray's part in regards to the fact that I feel like he didn't expect to be hit as much as he got hit this year, and he felt like he felt like he should have been protected more, whereas the coaching staff the coaching staff, that's old boy that used to coach him at Texas A&M,
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, Kingsbury. So, yeah, I'm sure he's comparing how Kyler is playing in Arizona and how he played while he was in A&M is what he's comparing it to. His work ethic too, because you coached him in college, so you know what his work ethic is like. You've seen it in college. You see it firsthand. So why would it change and go opposite in the NFL when the NFL is definitely more of a strategic and definitely more of a place in which you definitely need to have a good work ethic. So I don't know, man. I think it's both sides and both sides feeling a certain type of way on where they ended up this season. Because a lot of people had Arizona, because we know what Arizona went 7-0 at one point. Wasn't it 7-0, 8-0? They was the only
It was the last team. It was the last team.
undefeated team before they lost, and then they went on a losing streak. They went on a major losing streak. Hopkins got hurt and things like that. So I think they felt like this was a failed season, despite the fact that how strong they started off. And I think that's why I think they just I think they're very disappointed on where they fell with this season ending the way they started. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just frustration between the team, between the owners, the coaching, as well as Kyler Murray, because I feel like he felt they should have at least been in the Super Bowl or close to. Because if I'm not mistaken, most of the critics were saying that Arizona was the team to beat initially until they went on that losing streak. So they got to point fingers at something on why they didn't make it.
And so going back to real quick to two of the things in which Anthony Price was basing. So true enough, Snyder is, but so Snyder still particularly isn't out of that hot water. And then also currently he's not in control of the team. He is away from the day-to-day operations. His wife runs the team for the most part.
Right.
So and then they're currently going through congressionals in reference to him and the culture of the Washington football team, now the Washington Commanders. Additionally, for Kyler and the Kyler Murray and his contract, I don't think it's for a new contract because at this point,
is his contract? Was that his last?
Nah, so he still has
A
another
year.
year, another year to which he's supposed to make, I think, 27 million. His base pay is like almost $1 million, but he also has the signing bonus, and that between the base pay and the signing bonus, that pushed him up to about 20 some million or something like that. So he's right, he could get paid, but then additionally they also can pick up his 5th-year option as well. So he still could potentially have 2 more years in there. So he doesn't have to, or they can just go ahead and extend him from now and tack that money on. So it remains. So I don't think he's about money. I think it's about the fact that he feels that it feels disrespected and feels like he doesn't and for them to come out, for it to come out and say that, because technically we probably wouldn't even known this, and if it wasn't for him purging
his social media.
social media, which brought some attention to the story, and now here we are 2 weeks later, and now it's starting to come out that basically the organization felt like he isn't a they want him to be a better leader or be more of a leader.
Mm. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's doing it for. I would have to agree with Trey. I don't think he's doing it for contract purposes. But I don't know, because again, that sounds a lot like what a boy did in regards to Spencer Rattler when he went over to UCLA. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of the same things in which Spencer did when he would decommitted, or not decommitted, but entered the transfer portal from Oklahoma to go to UCLA. He took everything Oklahoma down. Affiliated with Oklahoma, he took everything down off all of his social media. So, and being that the Arizona organization feels like Kyler Murray is immature, that was one of the things they labeled him as. I mean, that could be considered an immature move, I guess, by doing that. I don't know. I don't know why so many people are stuck on social media stuff in regards to what's being done on social media reflects how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, if it was me, I don't know. I say that, and it's kind of hard. His dad makes most of his decision, or is a big influence. That's part of it. And that is true. That is true. That is true. In regards to Kyler Murray, as well as in regards to Spencer Rattler, too, his dad is a big influence in his as well. His exact same thing. And you're right, CJ. Appreciate you tuning in, bro. That's my little bro, man. That's another one, Trey. I'm trying to get into the fraternity, but right now he's
Really?
in. Yeah,
One at a time. One at a time.
Well, not only that, but he a good dude right now. He got some things working on. He about to get married, so he got money, going other ways. But yeah, good dude, man, good dude. But anyway, they call him Contro. But anyway, yeah, social media. I mean, so I was about to say initially, if it was me but me back in the day, we didn't have social media. We didn't have none of that. We didn't have nothing for people to reflect back on and say, oh, he's taking everything down off of social media, because there was no social media for back in the day from when we was, playing like that. We didn't have they critics, and nobody had none. Only way you knew something like that was if we spoke about it.
Yeah.
And we spoke on it. You know what I'm saying? So this new day and age of
subliminals.
Yeah, this new day and age of social media and technology, man, it plays a huge impact on a lot of things that go on within these professional organizations.
So I was looking over a couple of things, and so I have a couple of questions for you, and tell me if you're buying or selling these individual things. First, Matt Rule, coach of the Carolina Panthers, is on the hot seat. You buying or selling that?
Buying.
Buying it.
He's definitely
piping hot.
Piping hot, bro. That seat is so. I don't even know how he's sitting down.
Talking about Little Caesars, hot and ready hot,
bro. I don't know how he's sitting down. He can't sit on that seat. That seat is fire right now. That seat is on fire. Yeah, I'm definitely
okay, next one. Tampa Bay is keeping the door open for TB12 to return.
Definitely buying that. I'm the one that said it. Trey, I've been saying that to him. That man, till TP12 GOAT hits the podium saying he's done, they gonna leave the door open.
Okay. Additionally, Green Bay is willing to pay Aaron Rodgers $45 million to stay.
Ooh, I spoke on that yesterday. They throwing everything and a couple of limbs to keep.
Would you leave? Or would you leave that on the table? Would you leave that on the table?
What, Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah. Would you leave that on the table? Man, $45 million.
We were talking the current MVP, bro. The current MVP.
Yeah, he's not gonna go anywhere and make that.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So again, this goes back to what you were saying yesterday, and as well as Ron. Is it about the money or is it about the ring? Which one is it? When it comes to you as an individual and as a person, what is it about? Is it about the money or is it about the ring? If it's about the ring, you don't care about the money, of course. You're just trying to get another championship.
Yeah, you just
But
leave
if
it on
it's
the
about
table.
the
Yeah.
money, you're trying to make sure you're squared away for the rest of your life.
So it depends
Which
on
you,
where your
yeah,
mindset
it's
is.
where your mindset is. So for me, that one's a hard one, bro. I don't know. I can't tell you if I'm buying or selling.
Technically, I already have a ring.
Right.
I got
Has a ring
I have 4 MVPs already.
and 4 MVPs.
I
So
got
he's
plenty.
a
I
sure
got
Hall of
plenty.
Famer.
Yeah, I already have plenty of endorsements that make me
Right.
pretty good money.
Right.
Like,
Yep. Surely got money. So it's all on him. It's him now. It's him whether or not he chooses to be a 2 times Super Bowl champion, or does he choose to, ride out on this money boat and continue to stack his cheese. I can't buy or sell on that one, bro. I can't. That
okay.
one's hard.
Russell Wilson will be traded if the right deal is offered.
What the right deal? But if it's about the money,
But if it's about the money, if he takes it, he's going to be on a rebuild team with the Packers.
True. Now that is right, Anthony. So we all know that he's already mentioned he does not want to be a part of a rebuild. Aaron can get more now from another team now that Green Bay has put a price on him. Facts. Facts.
He ain't gonna get 40. He ain't gonna get over 45 million from another team. Ain't no one gonna pay for that.
You don't think so? The current MVP?
Nah.
You don't
45,
think you don't think
45 million for a flyer you're basically paying for a Super Bowl? Nah, potentially.
Well, who doesn't pay for a Super Bowl?
I mean, over time, yes, but I don't foresee Aaron Rodgers as a 40. Like Green Bay, I get it because there's a
that's where he's at.
Yeah, that's where saying there's a rapport there. There's certain things,
but
but
like Anthony said, it's a rebuild though, and that's not what he wants. He doesn't want that rebuild. He doesn't.
So if they were to keep, you gotta think if they was to be able to keep Devontae Adams and they're able to keep Aaron Rodgers.
Hold on, Trey. You just say 45 million. That means Devontae would have to take a hit. He'd have to take a major hit, to stay with Aaron, because they can't afford it to keep Aaron at 45 and Devontae. We the Washington team going all in for a trade for Wilson. Watch. Okay, I feel you. And that's a team that could use Aaron. That's a team. I mean, there's so many teams out there that Carolina, Matt Rule would love to have him out there in Carolina.
Here we go.
Matt Rule would love to get him out there in Carolina. Miami, Pittsburgh.
Sam, come to San Francisco. You can be a backup. Come on, Sam.
So, I don't know, man. I totally understand where you're coming from. Aaron to the Broncos. That too. I don't know, man. 45 million, that is a lot of money, bro. That's a lot. I would love to feel like, how do you feel? Yes, money is no option for teams. The money is coming in. Facts, that's true. I totally
Hence the reason. I mean, that is true, but that's why they have a salary cap, because money could be no option. Think about it. If the NFL ran their free agency market like the like baseball, it would be a non-competitive market. It would be a non-competitive game, because people will be paying after yin yang to get players to come play.
Stack their team.
Yeah.
I feel you on that too. No Tennessee, Denver. He would never go to the Steelers. Hate to say that, but it's true. Why would he not go to Denver, Steve? I mean, why would he not go to the Steelers, Steve? I don't get why he wouldn't go to the Steelers. Are you saying because of Mike Tomlin? Are you feeling like that the coaching and player quarterback would not work? QBs are getting we know that. They paid Dak.
Yeah.
And we see what Dak did. You know I gotta throw that jab, Trey. Especially when AP on here. But Aaron can go anywhere pretty much if he wants. Again, I personally feel like it's not about the money for him, because again, he's already stated he doesn't want to do a rebuild. So again, Green Bay is a rebuild, but we talking about a team like the Steelers doesn't need a rebuild. We talking about a team like the Dolphins, not necessarily a complete rebuild, but they probably missing a few missing pieces. Tampa Bay, definitely not a rebuild. Definitely not a rebuild at all. Tampa Bay is ready and set to go. They could go if they got Aaron Rodgers, they ready tomorrow. Who else? There's a few teams out there is ready. You know what I'm saying? That could you even see him going to Seattle if Russell was to leave? Like,
Nah, I don't think that he would do that.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. How about Aaron and Big D out
uh,
there with Jerry? You know, Jerry got the money. Jerry got the money. Jerry got the money. You make sure he get that money. Aaron out at Big D. Ooh wee. Boy, with all them weapons. Oh my God. That's another team. Because a lot of people ain't feeling Dak. Bottom line, money talks, and Aaron's almost at the end of his career. It's about the money now. That's what you say, AP. That's not what Aaron says. It's not, might not be about the money for Aaron. Yeah, Mike Tomlin and the Steelers OC is trash. That offense line was horrible too. I feel what you're saying, Steve. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. Bishop, can you name 5 players on the Seattle? No. Nope. I can't. All I know is they got what's his name
sure you
at wide
could.
receiver?
Metcalf, you got Lockett, you got
Lockett. Yeah.
yeah,
Metcalf and Lockett. I know
yeah.
them two. That's it. I don't even know who their running game is no more, to be honest. Ouch.
So so interesting enough, which is going to probably take us a little further into the time, but conversation that we've been having and we broke up yesterday, and Ron was opposed to what we were saying for the most part, but Richard Sherman yesterday got on it a reference to if um Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Famer. And Richard Sherman is basically he questions the resume of Matthew Stafford. Now, here's a comment like he was basically on going back and forth on Twitter yesterday, in which I give some of it. Basically, he's talking about I'm going to talk. This is Richard Sherman. I'm going to talk about this on my podcast, but the Hall of Fame bar is incredibly low now, like a participation trophy.
Oh, wow.
No all decade team, no all pro, no MVP, one Pro Bowl, not even the MVP of the Super Bowl, never considered to be the best any year he played. At least Matt Ryan won an MVP. So, of course, Michael Robinson, one of his old players, he said why his numbers don't back it up. Stafford's numbers back up his Hall of Fame argument. Additionally, he also stated, someone stated, if I'm going to sit here and tell Richard Sherman, a gold jacket himself, who deserves what game to be defined, but I like dancing, double dutch and rub routes is all about timing. Let the man have his day. So, of course, Richard Sherman responded back, he gets his day, brother, but just not just throwing around Hall of Fame like it's just like it irks me. So many had to be most dominant to make it. So then, of course, another response was how many QBs leave their teams and instantly win a chip. And then Richard Sherman responded with, off top my head, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. They also have a lot of hardware in their trophy cases. So another individual report basically said he completed 70% of his passes and averaged 8.5 yards per average over the course of his playoff games and culminated in a championship win in the Super Bowl drive. A lot of people are a lot of people are a drop pick away. A lot of people are a drop pick away, but are not winning the football game. Richard Sherman's response was he did nothing spectacular. It's really a microcosm of the career. Did good of his career. Did good, not great. Made a few wild passes, made a few face palm passes. Aaron Donald and Vaughn are the 2 Hall of Famers he should be thanking. And lastly, someone said, come on now, that's just a diagnosis. That's just a disingenuous argument. Dude threw 41 touchdowns this year and it was lights out in the playoffs, including the game-winning drive. I know he had 2 picks, but one was an arm punt and the other was a wide receiver's paw. Richard Sherman stated, lights out. He was a drop pick away from his team not going to the NFC champion, from his team going home in the NFC championship. A moment of silence.
Oh, this dude and these damn 49ers, bro.
He threw 2 picks in the Super Bowl, lights out, win. And then lastly, he said, like I said, there's other measuring sticks, and the acts of the Breeze had one. All pro shows how difficult it is to get it. Not saying Eli didn't deserve his Super Bowl MVP, but it's the seat of the pants vote in the press box. Everyone knows Husaka was the MVP for Super Bowl 48. And then lastly, Richard Sherman, there's no measuring stick that makes Stafford a Hall of Famer other than playing in the most passer-happy decade of the NFL history. Inflated numbers make every quarterback that starts 10 plus years a Hall of Famer. So when you look at it, basically you break down, it says, and Stafford currently ranks 12th in NFL history with 49,995 yards, which is more of a Hall of Famer, which is more than Hall of Famers Joe Montana, Dan Fouts, and Warren Moon. That's largely a reflection of how much of an offensive game he has evolved in decades. However, Stafford is 86 and 95 and 1 in his career, and the 2021 season was the first time with a winning record 12 and 5 since 2017. Stafford, the 34-year-old, arguably had the best season of his career this year, completing 67.2% of his passes for 4,886 yards and 41 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. However, that doesn't mean he should have the Hall of Fame. According to the Pro Football Reference, Stafford has the below average Hall of Fame monitor score of 58.44. A Hall of Fame monitor score of 100 is considered to be average. For example, Ben Roethlisberger's Hall of Fame monitor score is 100.28. Aaron Rodgers is 187.26, and even Russell Wilson's is 80.29. All have significantly higher scores than Stafford. So after hearing that, brother,
we talked about it yesterday.
Does that change?
That was even one of my questions. Remember, I asked y'all. I said, does this win make Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer?
Richard Sherman says no.
I mean, we spoke about it. Like I said, we spoke about it yesterday. I think Ron even said, I think he
doesn't believe it. Yeah,
Ron said he thinks he needs to win another Super Bowl,
or
at least make it back. Or is that you said he needs to make it back?
No, Ron said he needs to make it back. Remember my argument.
That's not necessarily win, but make it back.
And he said, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And some MVPs. That's what he said. And needs to be an MVP because he hasn't been an MVP.
So okay, this is going off in the Steve says not at all. He's speaking truth.
Okay.
Anthony says he's mad that Richard Sherman is a Hall of Famer, or is he? You know what?
I don't think he's even up yet.
No, he's not up yet. But I'm saying he's soon to be. Yeah, I was just saying that when he does, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's mad because he won't ever make the Hall of Fame with his antics. I don't know.
I'm curious to see if he's going to make the Hall of Fame. Richard Sherman. I've been saying this for so long. QB's inflated numbers, zone defenses, and protected from really getting hit, overpaid and overprotected defense. So protected QBs can play extended careers. I don't know, man. Nope.
A Hall of Famer. I don't know. I don't know. I think the Compton, of course, Richard Sherman represent Compton. Went to my alma mater, Dominguez High School in Compton, California. I think that bias is about to speak. I don't know. Do you think Richard Sherman was a lockdown corner?
Let me ask you this first. I heard your question, but let me ask you this first. If Matthew never goes to LA, he definitely is not a Hall of Famer. Correct? Because basically what everybody's saying is they're basing his Hall of Fame off this one season with the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what everyone's saying.
Because he had numbers, like he said, 50. He's 12th all time in the passing before he fit with almost 50,000 yards passing.
Right. He had 41 touchdowns this season.
Mm-hmm.
41 touchdowns. That's 9 touchdowns short of what the record was by set, or 9 or 10 short from the record that was set by, I think, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady beat Peyton Manning.
Brady, yeah. So he had Randy Moss.
Right.
55 touchdowns in
something like that. Yeah. So, with that said, again, I feel like he lost it when he left Seattle. Who left Seattle? Oh, he talked about Richard Sherman.
Yeah, the question I asked.
Richard balled out in San Francisco now.
Yeah, it's just that he was. I mean,
he balled out in San Francisco.
If it was, it became a matchup problem because I mean, of course, he didn't have the legs to keep up with Watkins or Hill.
Right.
So I mean, it
Right.
became
He
that.
had to he had to have some over the top help.
Yeah. So
But by the time he made it over to San Francisco and stuff. But yeah, like I said, they basically basing this off of him being a Hall of Fame off of his season with the Rams this year. We know he had his numbers. The majority of 95% of his numbers are definitely coming from Detroit time, but the 5% or less is coming from the Rams for this one season. However, it was also stated that we knew Matthew Stafford couldn't win a Super Bowl out in Detroit. So it was questioned, could Matthew Stafford be a Super Bowl quarterback if he was on another team? Well, the point has been proven. Matthew Stafford has went to another team and has won the Super Bowl. So it's for me, I kind of want to agree with what you and Ron was saying yesterday. I feel like he doesn't have an MVP. He did, as he has made it to the Super Bowl. Can he bring him back? Can he take him back again? Is the question. Was it a fluke season? Did he, he did come into a team that was pretty much already set for him. All he had to do was, it was pretty much a plug and play for him out there in LA. So, which it would still be the same outside of the fact of OBJ and Aaron Donald, because we don't know what OBJ's future is, and we definitely don't know what Aaron Donald's future is. So I don't know. I personally would have to say, yeah, I would need him to go at least go back. Or make it or win an MVP. Get some MVPs under his belt. If it wasn't for his weapon, he wouldn't be in that convo.
yeah, and so this is what Anthony was playing. Then we get to what Steve is saying. So Anthony I'm not gonna say he's mad behind it, but he did state that the way the league has evolved is more predicated to the quarterback.
Facts. We've mentioned it numerous times.
Just like what Applewhite was just talking about, how saying zone defenses, all that type of stuff. Like it's a passing league. It's more so a passing league now. To Steven, like I that's true, but saying
what weapon are we talking about? Are we talking about Megatron or are we talking about Cooper Kupp? What weapon we talking about? Because he had Megatron and he was pretty much doing the same thing when he had Megatron, outside of the fact they didn't make the Super Bowl. But like, what weapon is he talking? Or weapon? Oh, he's saying weapons.
Okay. Yeah. So over time, so basically over the course of so but everyone gets weapons for the most part.
Facts.
Like think about where Patrick Mahomes would be if he didn't have Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. And like, so everyone has weapons. So I don't think we can necessarily take that as a reason or the reason for be like, nah, saying you don't, or we can't do that. So without a doubt, like the weapons is we can't omit. It's the fact that if you don't have weapons, my take on it is you have least amount of weapons. What are you doing with the least amount of weapons? And in this case, Matthew Stafford was a player with least amount of weapons. When he was in Detroit, he had the least amount of weapons. He had more weapons in Los Angeles, and you see where it got him. I mean, almost didn't do it, but basically at the end of the day, you see where it got him.
Like we said yesterday, he basically did the exact same thing Tom Brady did. Tom Brady had less weapons when he was in New England. However, he had more weapons when he went to Tampa Bay. And look at the outcome. Bottom line, there are many players in the Hall that have not gotten the title. So is he being judged by a different standard than his predecessors? I don't think I don't think he's being judged by his predecessors. So this is the thing, AP, and this is for everybody, not just AP. I think the criteria is what we need to know, and what do you have to be considered an HOF? What do you have to have? Matt numbers are great from now and back with the line. The dude was throwing nearly for 5,000 yards.
5,000 yards, yeah.
He was. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He was. He just didn't have, once Megatron left, he really didn't have nothing to work with, bro. He really didn't. To be honest, he really didn't have anything to work with. No QB will be in the hot HOF without weapons. Can't throw the ball without a wideout. Facts. Totally facts, Frat. I totally agree with you. Just like Trey said, the exact same thing. There's no quarterback that's made a Super Bowl run that didn't have receivers, didn't have weapons, some type of weapons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you think when Donovan McNabb got a weapon, where y'all was at?
We had T.O. at that time.
When we made T.O., he's making Super Bowl.
We had T.O., we had Alshon Jeffries, we had Westbrook in the backfield. Not Westbrook. Oh yeah, with Donovan McNabb, yeah, we had Westbrook in the backfield. I think was it Westbrook
or was it McCoy?
McCoy. It might have been McCoy
It was.
actually.
I think it was Shady. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might have been McCoy. So we had weapons. You know, every team that's making this, we know what Brady's probably the only one that didn't have like ultimate weapons like everybody else.
But he had a conglomerate. He had
He
enough of
did have
average. He had enough of
he had role
average
players.
players. Yeah, he had enough role players. He had
He had
enough
role
role
players.
players that was able to get him over the hump. Because
Yeah.
when he didn't have any role players and when he didn't have any weapons, we see where he was at.
Right. Not to shy away from Julian Edelman. Not taking nothing from him. Julian Edelman was a dude. Don't get me wrong, and he did have Gronk. So I'm not gonna knock that. Marino, Dan Fouts, and many more never won a ship yet. They are in the hall. They have crazy passing numbers
because they're naked. Because they're numbers.
Right, they're numbers. So it's a numbers game. So we have to say
or it
numbers.
Was a numbers game. So, but it's, like you said, it comes down to how the voters, or how their criteria, what their criteria is, and seemingly the criteria seems to change or be skewed a
year
little
by
bit.
Year.
We don't know. You know what I'm saying, why these players aren't in the Super Bowl, aren't in the Hall of Fame, or a case like that. So,
and that may be what they're doing. We don't know because it has never been brought forth on what the criteria is. Brady had a defensive facts, true facts right there, Anthony. What we know is what we don't know is that we don't know what the criteria is because they've never brought forth what the criteria is to make it to the HOF. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, every year, for all we know, they could be changing it. Mm-hmm. So this year could be how many passing yards, how many touchdowns compared to interceptions. The next year could be how many times have you been in the MVP. Remember, just like how Applewhite, all you military personnel, how do you make senior NCO? Mm-hmm. What was the criteria? What was the criteria, Trey? It was certain things every time, right? Every year it was depending on what the sergeant majors
were looking for. What they was looking for.
Right. Every year it changed. You had to have so many deployments one year, maybe.
Education, special skills, and
all of that.
Yeah.
All you didn't know what they were looking for every year. It depended on what sergeant major was on the board and what his criteria was for what he was looking for to make seniors. And that might be the same kind of type of concept in which they have for the Hall of Fame. Every year they may be changing who is looking for what each year. Passing receptions passing receptions for wide receivers, MVPs. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Because why is it that some people are automatically in your head, automatic Hall of Famers? Mm-hmm. Like the Aaron Rodgers, who's still playing, the Ben Roethlisbergers, who's just finished playing. You know what I'm saying? These people are already in your head, automatic Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? Right out the gate. If you ask anybody, oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers automatic Hall of Famer. Why? Because he got 4 MVPs, but he only got 1 Super Bowl. But he has 4 MVPs. How many MVPs does Ben Roethlisberger have? Does he have any? I don't think he has.
I don't think he does.
But he got 2 Super Bowls, right?
Yes.
See? And he has a winning season. He never had a losing season. See, those are the things that a lot of people have to take in consideration. I think it's what Ben is not a Hall of Famer gamer to me. See? That's to you, AP. But if you ask any analyst, any professional analyst,
as soon as he called the quiz, he's like,
everybody said first time ballot. Everybody will tell you that. Everybody feels Ben is a first time ballot Hall of Famer without question. Everybody will tell you that because one, he has 2 MVPs. I mean, not MVPs, 2 Super Bowls, and he has a winning record his entire career. He has not one losing season. Not one. Is that Hall of Fame status? Who's to say? No.
Nah.
No, probably not. Good question. Me and Trey talked about that a few days ago.
Yeah, after looking at Ryan Clark, going over what Ryan Clark said.
Yeah, probably not. And I don't know MVPs, right? Probably not. Yeah, Russell Wilson probably isn't. He only has that one. He has that 1 Super Bowl. Probably not. He's probably gonna be. It's probably gonna be difficult for him to make the Hall of Fame,
Yeah, when they're close to almost not when he's almost out of
depending on how he finishes out his career. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a bit. He's in my opinion. I don't see him being a first ballot for sure. I do not see him being first ballot at all. No, no. And some people probably got Stafford over Russell right now because of the numbers. But then you listen to Richard Sherman. He said his Hall of Fame number sequence number is what, 85? Closer to
no
100?
80.
Is it 80?
Yeah, his 80, and then Stafford's is 57 or 58.
56, something like that. Yeah, you said
Yeah,
yeah. So
but average, they said average is 100.
100, right? So he's 20 off. Russell
Yeah,
Wilson is
so
by what Sherman is saying. Yeah, Russell Wilson is 20 off. So yeah, that right there tells you he's definitely not first ballot.
Yeah, he's fringe at this point. He's
Right.
not even average.
Right. So I don't know, man. That's a good question, man. I would love to see and love to hear those Hall of Fame committee personnel give us a criteria or a guideline on what they look for to be a Hall of Famer, to be considered a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see what it is. That way everybody can say, okay, now this person is, now that person definitely ain't. Because now we have something to gauge it to. People want to say that
Alex Smith. Yeah,
so
I don't foresee Alex Smith getting in. It's unfortunate for him.
yeah, it is, because I like Alex. I
Yeah,
do. I really that injury, that horrible injury that he took. Because Alex was the dude, man. Alex, I really liked Alex. Alex was the dude, but that horrific injury he took, man, that was bad, and that kind of pretty much hurt him in the long run. I mean, definitely a comeback player. He made it. He made it back, especially after I read or heard his story on what happened. Like, this dude almost lost his limb, almost lost his life.
Yeah,
almost lost his life, along with almost lost that limb. He almost lost his life. He came here to San Antonio to the Center of an Intrepid to military personnel to help him with rehab and all of that. He came here to San Antonio for that. So yeah, that he endured a lot. So yeah, but I like Alex Smith. Alex Smith was a good quarterback. He was a good quarterback. He was a good quarterback. I liked him.
So additionally, Bishop, I don't know if you heard what I did not realize is Tyreek Evans was reinstated by the NBA after he was banned for 2 years
I was about
for
to say, where I know that name from.
yeah, Tyreek Evans. Used to play. He was from Memphis. 2008 Rookie of the Year. So I mean, he was that dude. He's pretty effective, but I didn't realize that he's been gone from the NBA for 2 years because he was banned for abusive drug.
Substance abuse. Yeah.
So he's been gone. So he was recently just reinstated. Yeah, correct. He was the Kings. He was drafted by the Kings.
Kings, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was just recently reinstated to where he's able to play again. Now, at the age of 32, I don't know how effective he's going to be, but they say he seems to be in shape still, so he's able to sign with a team that was willing to take him. So he's back. Your man James Harden is currently going to be out throughout the All-Star break, in which that they have allowed Allen now is going to replace him in the All-Star game, which now just bolsters Allen, Jared Allen from plays for Cleveland Cavaliers, center for the Cavaliers.
Okay.
He's going to take his
spot. Okay. I heard that he wasn't going to play. He wasn't coming back to he wasn't playing for the 76ers until after the All-Star break.
So he's back. So Jared Allen gets his All-Star nod, and he'll be playing in place of Harden, like I said, which now bolsters LeBron's team even more so. Also, which I think I could agree with this, but LeBron James is petitioning for there to be an all LA parade due to the fact of the COVID pandemic robbed the Lakers and the Dodgers of celebrating their respective NBA and MLB championships during the year. So he's basically saying that the Rams, the Dodgers, and the Lakers should all be in on the
No,
celebration.
no, 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 no. We on a new NBA season. The MLB is on lockout. No, don't try to jump on. It's just like LeBron, always trying to put himself in the spot. No, let the Rams do their thing. Yeah, if the LA
That
feel like
and that's kind of where I like. So I can understand what LeBron is saying, but then again, it's
no.
like this is the Rams' time to shine. Like they
Right,
won,
right.
like
Don't take
let
their
them like.
shine away. Don't add y'all shit to my fault. I'm sorry about my language. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, don't try to jump in on the No, you had y'all won. It's cool. It is what it is. A lot of people didn't get to do a lot of things. Me personally, I'm upset because I didn't get to celebrate my 50th the way I wanted to celebrate it because of COVID. No, I don't get to redo my 50th. So no, Stay where you at. If you
You're not
want,
gonna
if you
jump on
want us,
you're not gonna jump on your brother's birthday and celebrate your 50th.
yeah, exactly, man. I'm not. No, I'm going, bro. Hey, little bro. Hey, for your birthday. Hey, check it out. I'm gonna come over there with you, and we gonna celebrate it together, man. Because I ain't get to do my. No, he gonna be like, no, your birthday the following month. My brother's birthday is this month. Matter of fact, my brother's birthday, Dante, his birthday is Saturday. It's Saturday coming up. Mine is a month from that. So I'm like, man, no, don't, LeBron. Just like LeBron, let the Rams, especially the Rams, let them get that. Last time they won a Super Bowl was what 2000 99. Yeah, it's been 20 something years, man. Stop it. Get your butt somewhere and say you need to. This is first of all, hold on, man. First of all, man, let me do this, man. Let me do
I got
this,
you.
man.
I got you.
Let me do this, man. Let me tell you something, LeBron. Let me explain. Let me tell you something. Look, first of all, your focus is on the wrong thing. That's the problem. Your focus on the wrong. Start winning again over there in LA, the Lakers. Start winning again. Stop trying to jump on some others bandwagon and joining their little festivities for them winning a championship. You had your championship 2 years ago. Y'all had, if y'all didn't get a chance to celebrate it like with a parade, oh well. It is what it is. Don't take away from the Rams. Let the Rams do their thing, man. Stop trying to take they add to their stuff. No, if you want to do it, win again this year, and then you can get to do your little parade. But you joining the LA Rams? No. That's no. I am not for that, and y'all better not let that happen. Rams, do not let LeBron. I don't care who he is. Do not let LeBron on the float. Don't let him walk on the float. None of that. Y'all do y'all, man. All right, Trey, I'm good. Man, God, he got me upset. Man, stop it.
Anthony says Bishop got the mic. Let's go.
Man, come on, man. No, honestly, man. How y'all feel? Well, Trey, come on, man. Be honest. I know this your city and all of that, but come on.
So, like I said, at first I was like, I could agree with that because we was robbed a lot. Dodgers and the Lakers were robbed of a parade due to, especially in California, because they was heavy. They was very restrictive in things. Right. But then again, you just had some good points. Like one, it was 2 years ago. The Dodgers were just true enough. The Dodgers were in the World Series and lost. Or no, they didn't make World Series and lost to the Braves. So or in NCLS, whichever one. They had an opportunity and we didn't get back. Right. The Lakers didn't get back. Right. So now we're 2 years removed from both of them winning their championship. So
I like that. The bum always want to steal someone's. I'm with you, Steve. So man. I'm with you.
So that's what the only besides that, it's like it's the Rams' time. Let them have their time.
Yeah, man.
If
why
that
not
was
repeat?
to happen,
why not repeat? But why not go back? That's what your focus need to be going. My thing is, Trey, you trying to jump on Nation. No, focus on your team right now. Get over 500 and go back. If you want to celebrate a parade, worry about what you're doing right now to try and celebrate a parade, so you can go back and celebrate go back and win, so you can have your own parade. But don't try to jump on the football team's float because they won and y'all didn't get a chance to do it when a lot of people didn't get to do a lot of stuff.
So what I would say is that honestly, what I say is especially now because you 2 years removed, those players, some of those players ain't there. Like
Right. Like
the
that part.
Dodgers ain't got the same players. The Lakers
That
ain't got the
part.
same players. Like,
That
you know what
part.
I'm saying? That we're
Like,
gonna
are you
have
going to
that.
allow all them other ones that aren't there anymore? You going to allow them to come up back to LA to help y'all celebrate too? Because they was a part of the team then. That part, Trey. Say that part.
So it's like it's a time. It's moved on some there. So of course, as Steve is going
Oh,
off
and
in the
you're right
comments.
about this one. Hold on.
Go ahead.
This part right here. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate you, AP. He sure is. He always up in the owners. He always up in the box up there with old Jerry. Thank you, AP. Which team are you voting for? LeBron, because you always up in the Cowboys game. You right about that, AP. Thank you. You sure right about that. Always got a Cowboys jersey on and everything. You sure right. And then who said this? What part was that? Oh, AP said this too. I like this too. We just had an all LA halftime show. Now an all LA parade. It will be good for Californians only for not to take the Ram shine. Absolutely. 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 And you should be in anyway. Wait a minute. Hold on, Trey. Hold on. Put
What's
the
up?
spotlight light on me, man. Hold on.
That's good.
LeBron, aren't you from Ohio? Isn't LeBron from Ohio?
So is it the old adage is that it's not where you're
It ain't.
from, is where you're at?
No, here he go. Take the spotlight off me. Here he go.
I'm just saying, it's not where you're from, it's
It's
where
where
you're
he
at.
at. Here he go. But he was Cleveland this, Cleveland that. Now all of a sudden, this dude here, man, LeBron, man. Oh my God, he from Cleveland, Cincinnati. How you for the Rams? And Cincinnati is where you're from, and they was in the Super Bowl. But now you want an all LA parade with the Rams? Come on, LeBron, figure it out, bro. Figure it out. Figure it out.
So last night, a couple of games in which we talked about. Of course, it was a lot of unexpected wins.
Bro,
One being
we looked horrible, bro.
yes, we
What
did.
the fuck,
One
bro?
being the New York Knicks hosted the Oklahoma City Thunder
And
as
fell.
they took a L 127-123. The Knicks dropped to 25-33, while the OKC improved to 18-39.
That's
They were
horrible.
basically paced by their rookie teenage sensation Josh Giddey as he dropped a 28-point triple-double with 28 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists. This being his 10th game as a rookie with 10 or more assists. He is 8th all time for rookies with that notion. He has a back to back. This is his back to back 10 plus assists. The 18, I think he's 18 or 19-year old. That
Wow.
seems like the OKC has found the gym, and then, of course, he was additionally paced by. Hold up. Okay, here we go. He was additionally paced by Trey Mann with 30 points, 23 points from Darius Baisley, 13 points from Ty Jerome. Like, they were all kicking on all cylinders. The OKC had it going last night. Not to be not mentioned, Julius Randle, 30 point, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists as he dropped a double-double as well. Even Fournier, 29 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. But definitely that was one of the games in which we did not make that pick because I just knew that New York was going to
Man,
get
you
it
and
taken
me both.
care
We
of.
both picked them. Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
man.
So of course, but a
My
game
neck.
in which I'm very sure that you
My
was
neck.
greatly appreciative of. The Brooklyn Nets, came in. Saying, hey, you add some new players, you add new
Let's
players,
go.
you get new results. Evidently, the Nets are hosted the Sacramento Kings, a hot streaking Sacramento Kings,
Yep.
which they got the W in good fashion, 21 points, 21 point blowout, 109-85. The Nets now 30-27 as the Kings dropped to 22-37. The Kings were paced by De'Aaron
Ended
Fox,
that
26
11-game
points,
losing streak.
two
Finally.
rebounds and 3 assists. Additionally, the DiVincenzo and Davion Mitchell 13 and 12. But as Bishop just stated, they came in, did damage as Seth Curry now sporting his brother's number 30.
Let's
Steve Curry's
go.
number 23 points, 7 rebounds, 5
Let's
assists.
go.
Additionally, Andre Drummond, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 rebound short of a double-double. 19 points from LaMarcus Aldridge,
What
14
is
from rookie Cameron Thomas. Patty Mills, 8 points. But of course, that ended an 11-game skid in which the New York, Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Nets
Nets?
were on.
Yep,
Uh,
we needed
so
that.
right on time, they and the reason for the trade hasn't even played yet.
Yep.
So, saying it remains, saying hopefully
Have
we
we
get a
heard
chance
if
to
he's
see.
gonna play before the All-Star break, or have they said? I haven't. I've
They
been
haven't
looking.
said yet.
They haven't
I don't
said
know when he's
whether or
gonna make
not.
his debut.
I know they was talking about his mental thing, his mental issue. So I know that was in concern in regards to whether or not he was gonna play before the All-Star break or not. But no one has spoken any more about it since the trade. So I was just wondering if you may have heard, but I guess not.
Nah, not yet. It may be a situation where it might wait till after the trade,
Because you
after the
said
trade deadline.
because you mean after the All-Star break?
All-Star break, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, All-Star
because
break.
you said the All-Star break is next weekend, right? Or
It's
this
this
weekend?
weekend. Yeah,
This
it's
week.
this
Oh
weekend.
yeah, he probably
So
ain't
it's
play.
this weekend, and then next week will be the break, and then they resume play after next weekend.
Okay. No, I was just wondering. Okay.
So of course, last night the Chicago Bulls traveled to whether we got this one right at least. The the San Antonio Spurs traveled to Chicago to take on the Bulls and their old teammate DeMar DeRozan, in which he did not disappoint. Of course, Lonnie Walker led the Spurs with 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. 19 points from Javante Murray, as well as 19 points from Doug McDermott. But of course, DeMar DeRozan doing only what he does: 40 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists.
Whew.
He was helped out by Nikola Vucevic with 21 points and 16 rebounds in a double-double. Additionally, 24 points from Kobe White and 12 from Ayao Adamsmusu. Of course, they continue to do their thing. Bulls are now 37-21. DeMar DeRozan last night again. Chance MVP chance have came back to the arena. That makes 35. He's averaging 35 points over the last 6 games with 35 or more points a game. Again, I know Bishop, you asked a question not too long, even yesterday. I think, is this DeMar's team or is it
Mhm,
Zach's team?
mhm.
I think he's making a
He's
clear
making a
state to, like,
statement.
yeah,
Mhm.
like this, saying it is what it is. Saying this is our team, but we just keep it at my house at the end of the day. So our team, we just keep the team at my house.
We'll keep it at my house, right?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god, bro! I really feel you on that. This is my team. Good job. I had to handle some business, but keep bringing it, Bishop. Thank you, appreciate you, Freddie. Yeah, I told you, man. You said it. Ben Simmons is on TV now talking about it. Oh, is he? Oh, wow. Okay. Um, um, what's good? What's good? LB, what's good? What's good? Yeah. When it's all
What's
said and
good,
done, man.
MVP?
Yeah. When it's all said and done, yeah, man. Demar is definitely making you know, hey, it's a great possibility that this is my team. I mean, I got I'm the Batman. He the Robin. He might have been Batman before I got here,
Yeah,
but I'm putting on the cape now
yeah. Let
and
me go. Yeah,
changing.
let me
We
rock.
switching suits. We switching suits, bro. We switching
Yeah,
suits.
definitely. So
Mhm.
additionally, of course, another new enlistee as Portland traveled to Milwaukee and did damage, winning 122-107. Bucks dropped to 35-23, while the Portland Trailblazers improved to 24 and
That's another
34.
upset. We picked Milwaukee, didn't we?
Yeah, that's, like I said, is another upset.
God.
Anthony Simmons dropped 31 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists, 23 points from Nusif Nurkic, and 13 from Justin Winslow. But Josh Hart, their new addition for in the CJ McCollum trade, Josh Hart drops 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. The Bucks, however, Giannis was not present; he didn't play. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he didn't play. They were read by Drew Holiday's 23 points, 17 points from Jordan Norway, 16 points in a double-double effort from Chris Middleton as he dropped 16 and 11 rebounds, 17 from Bobby Portis. Grayson Allen contributed with 14 points. New addition Serge Ibaka finished with 6 points, 7 rebounds, no assists. But still, the upset, like at the end of the day, is exactly what we said it is. When you go to the other side of the spectrum, another one we got wrong. We was just talking about how we're gonna ride with Toronto until Toronto falls off. Well, Bishop, last night Toronto fell off.
I
A
see that.
30-point blowout as the Pelicans thrash the New Orleans the Toronto
Raptors.
Raptors in the Noya 120-90. The Pelicans now 23-34 as they continue to ascend up. They're currently the 11th spot in the Western Conference as they look to at least get into the playoff tournament for the playoffs. Toronto 31-25 were led by, of course, Fred VanVleet's 20 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Pascal Siakam finished with 18 points, 5 rebounds. Chris Boucher, 16 points, 6 rebounds. The Pelicans were led by, of course, their new acquisition, CJ McCullough, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Contributions for Valanciunas with 18 points, 10 from Brandon Ingram in his double-double with 11 rebounds. Herb Jones, 11 points, and Jackson Hayes and Garrett Temple 14-11 respectively. So of course, I thought that was money in the bank for the Toronto Raptors. It ended up not being as such. It seems like there's some shifts here and there now when you look at it because these teams are starting to make pushes. The Houston Rockets traveled to Utah, in which we got this one right. The Utah Jazz, a 34-point thrashing, winning 135-104, improved to 36-21. The Rockets were led by Kenyon Martin Jr. with 16 points. They had a couple of contributors. They had Eric Gordon, and Jashawn Tate, 14 points apiece. 12 points from from their center Christian Wood, and 13 points from rookie Jalen Green. However, the Rockets 30 points from Donovan Mitchell, 22 from Bogdanovich, 11, 16 from Clarkson. It's just as they had 8 players in double digits. When you clicking on that, it's just going to be a little too much. And at last night, the young Rockets team was not able to handle what the Utah Jazz had in store for them. Another one we got right, of course. The Denver Nuggets hosted the Orlando Magic and were victorious 121-111, improving to 32-35. The Magic's high scorer was rookie Von Fragner with 26 points, 8 rebounds. Wendell Carter contributed with a double-double, 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists. The Nuggets, however, were led by, of course, Jokic at 26 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. Additionally, 17 points from Jeff Green and Nashawn Will Barton. Nashawn had 14 points and 16 points from guard Brian Forbes. And then, of course, 2 more games that was on that slate. The Detroit Pistons. Where is that at? Detroit Pistons.
They lost to the
The
Wizards,
Wizards.
94 to the.
As the Wizards, yeah, 94-103. As the Wizards improved, the Wizards improved 26-30 as they're 4 games below 500 as the season comes to a break. They were led by Sadiq Bey's 24 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Contribution from the new acquisition Bagley with 10 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. 10 points from Diallo, and Jeremy Grant finished with 14 points and 1 rebound. The Wizards' 23-point outing from Kyle Kuzma, who is basically becoming with Brady Beal out, is Kyle Kuzma's team. 23 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 11 points apiece from Thomas Bryant and Rallo Neto, and 10 points from Corey Kispert as the Washington Wizards look to get back into a possible play in. And lastly, last night, of course, what we thought was going to be a W turned out to be completely opposite of that. The Golden State Warriors traveled down the coastline to the Crypto.com arena to take on the Los Angeles Clippers, in which ended up being a 15-point loss for the Golden State Warriors, 119-104. The Warriors was led, of course, by Steph Curry, 33 points, which wasn't enough. Contributions from Andrew Wiggins, 13 points, 13 points from Jordan Poole. Clay finished with 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 10 points from rookie Jonathan Kuminga, 2 rebounds and 1 assist. The Clippers were led by second-year guard Terrence Mann, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 19 points from Reggie Jackson, 14 points from Nicholas Batum, and 11 points from Mark Morris Sr. 18 points from centers Ivica Zubac, and 11 points from the new acquisition Robert Covington. So tonight's slate, we have a small slate in which, as they get ready for the All-Star weekend, we're getting close to it. 7 games, as we have the Miami Heat will host the Dallas Mavericks. Boston Celtics will be traveling to the Philadelphia 76ers. The Cavaliers will be hosted by the Atlanta Hawks in ATL. Memphis Grizzlies will travel to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. The Hornets will be in Minnesota against the Timberwolves. The Pacers will be traveling to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks, and the Clippers, coming off their win, will be traveling to Phoenix to take on the top team in the NBA, the Phoenix Suns. So tonight, for the games tonight, Bishop, who you got? Who you feeling? The game of the who you think the game of the night gonna be?
The game of the night is probably the Heat and the Mavericks, or the 76ers and the Celtics, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Either one of them two. Either one of them two. So in that game, I'm taking the Heat. I gotta go with the Sixers on this one. The Grizzlies over the Pelicans, even though it's on the road, even though I know the Pelicans just won.
Yeah, but they ain't facing Joe. They ain't facing
They
Joe.
ain't facing,
Yeah, yeah,
Ja. And
yeah.
then the Hawks over the Cavs, the Timberwolves over the Hornets, the Bucks over the Pacers, and the Suns over the Clippers.
So I think I got a few disparities. Like, I'm thinking the Miami Heat, of course. I'm actually going with the Celtics over the 76ers.
Going with
James Harden
Tatum
still,
again.
yeah. I think James Harden isn't playing yet, so I think that's still going to make a difference, even though it's the same business as usual. Well, actually, it's not business as usual because they lost they lost Drummond and Curry, so now it's next man up. But I think the Celtics might get this one.
Okay.
I'm actually going with Cavaliers. I think they get back right and continue with that run they were
What?
having. Yeah, I think Cavaliers over the Hawks. Um,
On the road
the
at that.
yeah, the Grizzlies. Of course, I'm going with the Grizzlies. I don't think they're going to disappoint. Uh, this Hornets Timber. I'll come back to that one. I have to think about that. The Hornets and Timberwolves. The Pacers and the Bucks. I'm going with the Bucks. And then, of course, the Clippers and the Suns. I mean, again, once until the Suns take another L, then
Yeah.
I don't think the Clippers are going to have enough.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the Hornets and Timberwolves. I think I stick with the home team. It is like a flip over coins. The home team gets the nod, and I stay with the Timberwolves for the Hornets and Timberwolves game.
Okay. That's fair.
So definitely. So we of course we see that, but yeah, definitely last night was a couple of ones in which I didn't expect to happen last night. I caught the back part of the Clippers Warriors game as we were coming back from dinner, and it was I thought they was gonna catch him, especially with Curry was hitting. But of course, as we see, if with Curry now that the splash words are back in effect, if Clay is having a down night, then if they don't get that scoring from other places, then it's an issue, it's a problem.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. I can see that.
Oh, so yes, but real quick before I know we got a couple of minutes, about 2 or 3 minutes. I went back. I did go take a look and see where all the drafts are or where they're at in the draft. And of course, real quick, we go over it in these remaining minutes. Jacksonville Jaguar, of course, is number 1, in which they're expected to pick up an offensive lineman with the first pick in the draft. That's what the mock draft is right now. Detroit, number 2, number 3, Houston Texans, number 4, the New York Jets, number 5, the New York Giants, number 6, Carolina Panthers, number 7, New York Giants per Chicago Bears, number 8, Atlanta Falcons, number 9, the Denver Broncos, number 10, Jets, another pick per the Seattle Seahawks, number 11, the Washington Commanders, number 12, the Minnesota Vikings, number 13, the Cleveland Browns, number 14, Baltimore Ravens, number 15 is the Miami Dolphins. The Philadelphia Eagles per for the Miami Dolphins. Number 16, the Philadelphia Eagles per the Indianapolis Colts. Number 17, the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 18, the New Orleans Saints. Number 19, Philadelphia Eagles. Number 20, Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 21, New England Patriots. Number 22, Las Vegas Raiders. Number 23, the Arizona Cardinals. Number 24, the Dallas Cowboys. Number 25, the Buffalo Bills. Number 26, the Tennessee Titans. Number 28, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 27, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 28, the Green Bay Packers. Number 29 will be the Miami Dolphins per the 49ers pick. Number 30, Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, 31, the Cincinnati Bengals. And 32 is actually going to be the Detroit Lions per the Rams because of the trade to get Matthew Stafford. So what we talked about before, like those trades don't always pan out to be what it is. So yes, they get an additional first round trade, but at this point, it's the 32nd pick in the draft. Additionally, for the 49ers, yes, they gave up, but it's the 29th one. And then not to even mention that we haven't even seen what the value of Trey Lance is yet, so we still don't know if that pick was actually worth it or not yet. But I know one thing I also did see in the mock draft is the Pittsburgh Steelers are expected to draft Jamal Willis, quarterback from Liberty University.
Okay. The first in the draft shouldn't be a lineman. Go quarterback or linebacker.
I guess it depends. They're trying to protect, keep Trevor Lawrence upright.
Oh, hold on.
Would you? Yes. So Anthony, I can understand. I see what you're saying, but it depends on what you're trying to do. I probably would have quarrels with picking especially if there's other needs I have. I probably would have quarrels with picking the lineman in the first round as well. But I mean, you do what you got to do to make things happen. So, but of course, you know what I'm saying, that is our show for today. We greatly appreciate y'all coming out and being here, rocking with us. We was a little late this morning, running late to formation a little bit. Drop a black quarterback, most likely, and which is there's some marks and high marks on Jamal.
Damn, my dog gonna open up the door and let herself in. All I heard was the door. All I heard was the back door come open. I was like, that's why I had to jump. I was like, it was wide open, and my dog didn't let herself in on her
own. So after that's what it's most likely it's possible, but I don't know.
Pittsburgh going to do what I thought they would: a black quarterback. LOL. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
So like I said, we greatly appreciate y'all coming out and tuning in with us today. Like I said, we was running a little late. Well, we got, everything got all the information out for formation, so y'all can go ahead and get on with y'all days and be productive. Bishop, any words, brother?
No, my sir. That is a good Roger 10-4, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in this Tuesday. Steve, Freddie, LB, AP, Anthony Price, all y'all, man. Zach, everyone that jumped on, Key. We thank y'all so much, man. Again, we couldn't do it without y'all. Y'all have a great Tuesday. Enjoy it and be safe, man.
So, of course, no further ado, we'll see y'all tomorrow's show. Attention, Fallout.
Roll 5 Psi Roll 5 military fraternity in